April 10th. And as usual, we'll be going over analysis for US 30, gold, EU, and Bitcoin. So starting off with the daily bias, US 30 is bearish, gold is bullish. That's a daily bias. EU is bullish, Bitcoin is bullish, the US dollar is bullish. Looking at what time it is, it's 9:36, so we have like 10 more minutes before we can take any official trades or any trades. So these are the markups for US 30. We will probably get this buy on US 30. But remember, as I advise you guys, any buys for or any trades for US 30 during the live session, which will be anytime before 12 noon, I advise you guys to probably use a lower lot size or use lower risk. Gold is currently in a demand zone on the 15-minute time frame, but again, it's still within the first 15 minutes of market open. So let's update the new zone for gold here. We had this new zone. But if gold comes back down here, I'll be looking to take the gold trade. The 30-minute zone, I don't think has changed. Yeah, the 30-minute is still down there at 2302. And then EU is in a demand zone on the 15-minute time frame. I was curious, and actually give me 1 second. So US 30 is crossing the buy zone. So if there are people who trade before 9:45, that's your buy on US 30, just triggered on the 15-minute. But personally, I will be waiting for the first 15 minutes. Also, I was curious, I haven't looked at the markups for this instruments today. Markups. So nothing is around where anything is on there. So EU is currently in a demand zone. And we are also in a daily bullish order block. So that's nice. But I'm liking this buys at EU here at 1.072 and 1.074. I don't know if that lines up with maybe the hourly and 4-hour, but this buy zones that are below the daily bullish low look pretty nice. But we are in a daily bullish order block overall. And yes, right now, that's a buy for EU. But again, I'm not really trading EU actively unless I do see like if EU comes down here at 1.072, that's a buy I would be willing to take. For BTC, price is kind of far away from the 30-minute, pretty far away from the 1-hour markups. And here BTC is in a buy zone as well. I've been tracking this trade before market open. BTC is in a buy zone. But again, I'll still have to wait after 9:45. But this is a trade I've been tracking because this is the last entry on BTC for probably a long time before maybe BTC either comes back down or goes up. But BTC is in a demand zone currently where it is. But I'll wait for 9:45 and see if that trade setup is still valid. US 30 on the hourly. Yes, we were in a demand zone, but you can see price has broken below. So for this for this one, I go and find the next area for US 30, which is all the way down here. All the way down at 37,797. But actually, you know what? Let me redo this. So here, this zone is still valid, but this one would be an entry from the top. So the reason I'm saying this zone is still valid, you can see this candle, this inner demand zone hasn't been deprecated. So this zone is still valid. And what I will do, I will set an alert here. If US 30 comes back up, we'll ideally be looking, it's similar to like the gold trade we took yesterday, the gold sell, even though it did get taken out at a loss. But this one, it's based, compared to gold, this one is based off of multiple candles and not just one candle formation. And really the next demand zone for the hourly is all the way down here at 787, 788. This is a trade I would be, and given that I'm using lower risk on US 30, this is a trade I would be willing to take up. So it's currently 9:40, 9:41, just 4 more minutes before we can take any trade. For gold, no supply zone on the hourly. I don't think there was. Oh, actually there is at 23.64, which is where we entered the sell yesterday on gold. That was a winner. We rode that quick price movement down. Demand is all the way down here, so nothing for demand. EU price is far away from demand. On EU as well, we are on the hourly, we are at a demand area for EU, but still, I think EU may come a little bit lower. And today's one of those. So today is heavy news day. So we had CPI in the morning, we have FOMC in the afternoon, but the FOMC in the afternoon is the one without a press conference. So I really, I'm not too worried. I'm normally not too worried about the FOMC without a press conference, but today might be a good day actually to catch EU. The other thing, and I've said this with CPI, whatever direction price picks, it keeps going in that direction. So it rarely has a retracement compared to NFP, where you normally expect price to retrace to pre-NFP levels. But for CPI, most of the times, I would say maybe 7 out of 10 times, it goes in whatever direction it has chosen. So everything looks bearish. So I would expect things to pretty much be bearish for the rest of the day. What I will do here for EU, I will set same thing I did for US 30. I will set an alert if price comes back up here, and I may catch this hourly EU entry. So if price does pull back there for EU, maybe looking to enter that. So it's 9:42. Here for US 30 on the 4 hour as well. Price is inner demand is right here at inner demand is right here, and I think this is still a valid trade for US 30. So I'll still put an alert for US 30 here because it will take a lot for them to break this demand on the 4 hour as well, pretty much similar on the 1 hour. So I'll put an alert here. If US 30 does come back up, I would be looking to take those trades on US 30, either on the hourly. So the hourly and 4 hour timeframes match. For the 4 hour on gold, we don't have any supply zone. We do have a demand zone, but it's all the way down here at 22.59-ish area. So price is pretty much far away from there. EU on the 4 hour as well. Let's see. We have a small demand area that just got tapped in right now. So we have a 4 hour EU demand that just got tapped in right now. And what time is it? 1 more minute before we can trade. So for me, so the trades that are lining up are EU and US 30 for now. I don't think I still want to trade EU in this zone. Again, this zone down here, 1.072, looks to be a better zone, even though you look at the price or you look at the structure of price. This zone 1.072 looks like a better area for buys on EU. But anyway, if anybody has any confluences for EU buys, there's currently a buy on EU that's that just triggered. So personally, I'll wait for US 30 here. I think this is the hourly. Let me redraw this for. All right, so US 30 is pulling back up. So what I'll do, and this is the BTC trade as well. But let me just do one after the other. So for US 30, I need a crossover sell first. There goes that crossover sell, and now I need a crossover buy in order to enter that buy for EU, because entering the buy from the let me make sure that we're entering the buy from the top. So let's see. So if I do get a crossover buy on US 30, I can be looking to take that. Here for US 30 on the 15-minute second. And again, this one is based off of the 1 hour and 4 hour time frame. On the 15-minute. see, this loads. On the 15-minute, yeah, so there's also this would line up also with the 15-minute setup. So let me put an alert back here for US 30 on the 15-minute. There it goes. And then we're looking, or I'm looking for this. All right, and there it goes. All right, so I'm in that trade, spiked up very fast. I'm in that trade on one account, trying to enter on this other accounts. And let's see. Let's see. Okay. I don't think I'll be able to enter on my top tier account. But again, use this with lower risk because it's US 30 and it's pre-noon. But personally, yes, I am using lower risk on that. So I'm in that with two of my accounts. My top tier account is just acting up. And remember, we still have like a 15-minute entry that's down here. So there's that one as well. And all right, so I got stopped out of that one for US 30. But there's again still another 15-minute. Let me look at this 30-minute down here. So that one just happened a bit too quickly. There's a 30-minute that's down here. And also still there's that BTC entry. So let me see, 38,327. Between the 15-minute and 30-minute, I would prefer the 30-minute. Let's see what else. For this BTC, let me go back to BTC. All right, so depending on slippage or not, depending on what time you got in, so you might still be in or out, but personally, I got slipped out of those trades. But right here, because again, this was the red X right here, but again, looks like this trade might be stopped out, but the green X was, I'm sorry, green X. Let's see, BTC, what was I looking for in BTC? BTC was this 4-hour entry right here. I will see if we do get, I may hop into this BTC one. If we get a crossover buy. But just remember, pretty much right now, this is counter trending or counter trading, trading against the trend. So definitely risky. But yeah, so for US 30, if it's before noon, just use like lower risk sizes or lower lot sizes. Let's see for BTC. All right, so BTC. All right. So BTC mostly I don't use like lower risk, but BTC does move pretty quick as well. But this one is based off of a 4-hour setup right here, which is this one that's right here, and it's still holding. But we want to see this in a demand zone holding. But BTC as well is in a downtrend, so also for this one, use proper risk if you do take it. So this one is at 67,603.08. 67, 603.08. 7.08. All right. All right. So those will probably be the only two trades for today. So this one, the US 30L, that's right here. So this one is minus 0.75. But for me, I use like 0.125% for this trade, so I only lost 0.125. But for marking up the official trades, I'm just using a consistent 0.75. entry. But I am in BTC, in that BTC trade as well. I have to re-sign into my top tier account. So US 30, let's see what US 30 is doing. So yeah, so eventually this one would have gotten stopped out as well, even though you didn't get slipped out. But hopefully BTC should be able to make back that L. So that was based off of an hourly entry right here. Actually, wait, 4 hour. Actually, no, my bad. That wasn't based off of the hourly and 4 hour. What was it based upon? Um, huh. S- All right. So that US 30 trade, my bad. It wasn't based because price didn't come back up here for the hourly and 4 hours. So I think there was probably another alert that was right there. Um, yeah, so I think maybe it was a 15-minute. It was probably another 15-minute zone or something, but I'm not sure. Yeah, watch BTC and just make sure to set break even if it does get there. I For that US 30 trade, I'm not sure because it's not the hourly that we're looking for. It wasn't the 30 minutes. Because the hourly, the trade alert is still here. Yeah, and price didn't, I don't think price retraced to, yeah, the alert is still there. Or unless price, maybe it was the 4 hour. Price, I don't know if price retraced to that area on the 4 hour. Um, yeah, maybe it was a 4 hour, but anyway, yeah, I think maybe price did retrace to the 4 hour and the hourly alert was just a little bit above the 4 hour. But anyway, yeah, I think it retraced to the 4 hour alert, which was somewhere here. 38,420. But BTC is rising. So if you did use lower risk with the US 30 trade, BTC should make up for your loss on US 30. Because my BTC trade, I'm using 0.75% risk. This US 30 trade, and I think for this style of trades, where we are, if it's a buy, if price is below our buy area, I think I might cut out those trades as well, because again, they're subject to getting faked out because you can see that US 30 loss. But I think I might also cut out these ones and just do the normal ones that we do, right? If we are looking for buys, we look for buys when price is above the buy area. If it sells, we look for, so set break even on this Bitcoin trade. So this BTC trade should be at break even. But yeah, so for this year's 30 loss, 38,420.1, I'll just take a screenshot of this. But again, hoping that you guys did the same thing that I'm doing for US 30 trades that come before 12 noon. I just go ahead and use lower lot sizes for them. But this BTC win should give you back more um, than what you, and there goes US 30. So US 30 is coming to that 1 hour entry. I really don't want to play around with these entries. Again, like if our entry area is if we're buying and our entry area is above price, I really don't want to play with that anymore. So I think I'll cut those out also going forward and just um, do the usual ones that we do. 38,420.1. I just want to take 420.1. 420.1, yes, 30. And check this for my journal. But BTC is rising and should be able to give you back. Um, zones. All right, so let's see. So BTC is that. If we go back to this instrument, so this right here is still a buy zone on US 30 on the 15th. So this zone hasn't been taken out. So this is the lower area. So now this one is like how we do, right? So our zones are below where price is at compared to like that 4 hour and 1 hour or that 4 hour that we just took a hit on. So that's US 30 gold. Unless gold comes back down here. So this is a buy zone on gold at 22, 23, 22. So maybe we can get this entry. US 30 is crossing back up. So that's the 1 hour entry that we had plugged price in for. So compare this with what we are looking for. So like right now, what we would be looking for, and depending on if you guys still want to, if you did like a 0.125% risk, you can re-enter. But again, here, you need a crossover sell. So you need price to come back down. And then, so that's the red X. So you need that red X. And now you need price to go down and then come back up and give you a green X. So depending on your risk size for US 30, if you're doing 0.125, that might be another entry for US 30, or wait for US 30 to come back down here for this 15-minute entry. And we also have a 30-minute entry there. So it's up to you guys to do what you, since we're in BTC, I really don't want to play around with that entry. So I'll just hold on to BTC for now and wait for US 30 to come back down to say this 15-minute or this 30-minute that's right here, which is right the price action we normally trade. See, so that's gold. Gold looks like it's going to spike back up. You can see those heavy wicks from the bottom and possibly even starting to create higher lows. But if this is a price action on gold, this is good for a Bitcoin trade because it means that BTC will pump up or would pump up. So this is the trade we are in for BTC. So that's break even. So for me, for BTC, use 0.75% risk. The gold loss I took, I used 0.125%. So my risk for BTC was like 5 times. Is it 5? 5 times, yeah, 5 times the amount of the US 30 risk. So you can see I risked 250. I lost 250 on my 200K account for US 30. But if I win this BTC trade, I'll make 1,500. So yeah, so for BTC, I don't see a reason for lowering risk for BTC during the New York session. US 30, I think, is the only one in my experience that's worth lowering that risk. For this hourly trade, so you can see price came back down, right? So from that 1 hour setup, the one that I was saying, if we have that, we still don't have that crossover buy yet. But you can see price is coming back to the 15-minute. But for this hourly trade setup, if we go back and see, I still think US 30 might go back up. But again, remember for CPI, whatever direction it picks, it goes in that direction. But here for US 30, since we've already gotten taken out of that zone, or I took a loss on that zone, I go to the next zone for the hourly. So the next zone for the hourly, and the reason I was willing to risk this trade for US 30 is because if US 30 breaks here, I don't have any other demand zone on the hourly up until 37,800. So 37,800 is the next demand zone on the hourly time frame. So that's another reason I was willing to risk my 0.125 on that trade, because if I lost that trade, there was no other optimal area to take an entry for US 30. So I think we have an alert that just went out for US 30 as well. I think that might be the 15 minutes. So the 15-minute just got triggered. And there goes your crossover buy. So this one as well, just 1 second, I will take this. So I'm still using like small risk for this. US 30. And candles are moving so fast. So where's my US 31? So again, still use lower risk for this one if you can, or if you want to. And my TFF, today my TFF account, I haven't, or top tier account, I haven't gotten anything. So what am I risking for this one? It's, I think I'll be in time for this. All right. Yeah, so for this US 31 as well, just use small risk like what you used before. But I like this area because we also have like that 1 hour and 4 hour area. But just to be on the safe side of risk, better to use a small risk size, especially since we are up nicely on this BTC entry. Let me reset my parameters for top tier. This is gold, so this should be 300 ticks, 600. Should be 75. $600. See. BTC risk for this one is 375. What? Then this is you. All right, so also observe price action on the 5 minutes. So of course here on US 30, if we start getting lower lows on the 5 minute, would be nice. You'd ideally be looking to get out at break even. But so far, like if we break this low, that might be an area to just exit out your trade. So if we have like a 5-second candle closure below here, that might be an area to exit out early, because it would mean we're making lower highs, or possibly making lower highs. I was hoping we get the gold entry today, but I don't think we'll get the gold entry later. I'm sorry, I don't think we'll get the gold entry today, maybe later on in the day. Yeah, so watch if we get a closure below, what is this? 38,390. You can exit out, or you can look to start looking to exit out around break even. So definitely today we have a lot of liquidity in the market, but if we get that spike to the upside, one reason I love this one is it's a 4 hour and 1 hour zone. So they haven't taken out, if we turn this on, they haven't taken out this zone, right? They haven't taken out all this zone. So you just see we have a bunch of buyers that are sitting there. It's probably clearer to see on the 1 hour time frame, or where we were on the 1 hour time frame, which is here, right? We still haven't taken out those buyers. So we have a bunch of buyers that are sitting here. So it's just having a big enough stop loss or using smaller risk and building upon that for this particular trade there? So BTC is still midway or consolidating. Yeah, but those will be the only trades for today. So depending on how this US 30 trade happens, whether we hit break even or hit stop loss, that will be it for the live session today. But even though both US 30 trades hit stop loss and say you win this BTC trade, you'd still be up for the day like zero, depending on whatever risk you're using, but you'd still be up for the day. Here I would say if US 30 comes back up, I'll look to exit this one out of at break even. I really what time is the next 5-minute candle closing? Yeah, we just have quite the amount of selling pressure here. If you look at the 5-minute time frame, we have a lot of wicks at the top candles. So if this comes back up, I'll look to exit this trade at break even. So I'm exiting US 30 at break even. The 15-minute looks good, but yeah, let's see. Or what I'll do, I'll move my stop loss up here because that 5-minute, yeah, for this, I would say set break even for this trade right now, because if we have another push heavy below, we might come and take this one out. So set break even for US 30, because if those sellers come back in and take it out, there's a bunch of wicks right now. But if the current 5-minute candle closes above, but it closes in the next 3 minutes, which is a lot. If the next 5-minute candle closes above, we'll have a nice spike up. But go ahead and set break even on this US 30 trade. And it would ideally even be automatic break even where it's at. So this is the normal break even, but even though price hasn't gotten to the 1:1, just set break even due to the price action that we are seeing on the 5-minute. On the other hand, on the 15-minute, price is looking very good for a bullish move. So on the 15-minute, price is looking very good. And this was a 15. So either way, so right now you should be automatically at break even because we got to that point. And here the entry was 38,420.3. It looks similar to what we had before. 38,420.3. 38,420.3. All right, so that's the US 30 trade. Then this trade is at break even right there. So that's that 15-minute trade setup. All right, BTC, see, BTC, hopefully we get a nice spike on BTC as well. And there goes US 30. So at least for this one, my top tier account caught it. Yeah. So I'm dragging my stop loss as well on this one, edit position. And there goes a nice pump on BTC as well. Confirm. This was see to edit the entries here. Excuse me. So this might get taken out at break even. See that This might get taken out at break even, but price might spike back up based off of the price structure we are seeing. But just take break even if you have to. See what else. Yeah, so there goes the gold spike we're talking about. That price structure, right? So always look at the wicks. So for me, most of the times to decide on whether I'm exiting a trade, even before, say, to avoid a loss, you want to look at the wicks. So if you have a lot of long wicks from the bottom, it tells you you have a bunch of buyers or heavy buying momentum stepping in. If you have a bunch of wicks from the top, you know that you have a lot of sellers stepping in. EU, I didn't take EU. So this is that 4-hour trade I was saying we do have demand with EU at that area at 1.076. But for me, I said a better area for me for EU was this 1.072. Because here we know if we turn on EU, and this is something I've been doing with EU lately, I've been looking at where the 4-hour and the daily order blocks are. So here for EU, we are inside a daily bullish order block. So the daily bullish low is at 1.073. So do we have an entry below that? And even below that, we have a weekly OB. So below the daily bullish OB, daily bullish low, we have an entry at 1.072. I don't know if this is a daily because I started marking up even daily entries. So I think it's around, it's not a daily entry. It's not a 4-hour entry and it's not a 1-hour entry. So maybe this is entries I'd marked up previously, but I would be looking to buy EU at the very least at that daily bullish low at 1.072. So I'd maybe see if there's a 15-minute or 15-minute or 30-minute entry for those for that one. But personally, I'm not, again, I've said this, I stopped trading EU as much because it's a slow moving asset other than during heavy news days. But today, maybe later on during FOMC, that's when it might be worth trading EU. But for right now, I'm not really looking to be taking EU unless I see like a trade setup that's too good to miss out on. Like the one we took on Friday that went to TP ideally in like 30 minutes. But other than that, I'm not looking to be taking EU trades constantly. Yeah, so this will be the only trade setups. So I'll stay on for maybe 7 more minutes. If we get taken out at break even for this US30 trade, so I just got tapped out at break even. I think I was slipped out. So got tapped out at break even for all my 3 accounts. So that's fine. But depending on if you had slippage or not, so the original entry, so remember, it's always that green X and you have to be quick with it. So for me, since I have like 3 accounts, it takes time to enter trades into all 3 of them, and slippage can definitely get me. But if say you entered any account you entered at the close of that green candle, then you should still be in that trade. But if you entered a bit later, you would have gotten tapped out at break even. So, but let's see, say this BTC trade will will either hit TP or BE, and then we'll just call it a day for today's trading session. Yeah, so for me on like my top tier account, I'm still in the US30 trade. I literally got filled in at that area right there. But price action is not looking too good for this trade. So still looks like it might get topped out at break even. Nothing on EU BTC. That's what we're in. Yeah, so maybe later on during the day, maybe US30 will drop to this 37,796. Any other entries for US30? Maybe this 30-minute entry, but yeah, I don't see anything else. Just to so still in this account, still in this trade for okay. So I got tapped out at break even as well on that trade. So this one as well ended up at break even. So that will be it for this live session. If you're still in BTC, and I'm still in BTC as well, hopefully it gets to TP within the next couple of minutes, but that should be it for today's live session. And there's something, let's see. Um, All right. Yeah, that should be it for today's live session. But yeah, based off of the price action, the 15-minute looks really good for buys because you see this wicks from the bottom. So we have more wicks from the bottom that are even creating higher lows. So I think this was pretty much like a stop hunt, but it is what it is. Still at least in this BTC, but this week's on the 15-minute time frame for US 30 look good. But other than that, I will catch you guys tomorrow. And just happy trading.